Okay, I notice on this one, I'm ending this row, coming back, and notice which hole I'm going through to finish that cross. So when I start the next row, I might be tempted to come up through that same hole right there, but that'll undo the previous stitch. So in this case, I have to be careful not to let that happen. I can't start the next stitch where the previous one ended, or I'll undo that one. So I need to start this one from the top. So I'm going to come up to the top of this stitch to start this one, and still be going in the same direction. And then I can start the rest of them. I can come over and do the rest of them from the bottom. But you just got to be aware that if you come across that situation where the next row starts where the previous one ended, you've just got to go across to the other side. You can't have one stitch start where the previous one ended. It will just undo the previous stitch. And again, I'm still skipping these green ones as I go across here to get this one. And then I will continue moving across this row here. Okay, I've gone across and finished that row we were just looking at. And I'm starting the next row, and notice there's a dark green one in that row right there that I have to skip over. And then there's also this white one right here that I have to skip over. So I need to skip it and then come down and do those next two. And then there's a green one, a dark green one that also needs to be skipped. So I will skip that dark green one right there. And you don't have to look at it on the other side, but if you do, you'll see the lines where you skipped them. And then I mentioned earlier, I might do this little floater out here with this row below it instead of having that long stretch. So I'm going to come over and do this one, because on the next row I'd have that long stretch of 3. Here I really am only just skipping 1 up and down. So it's really less of a stretch on the back. So you can see the little stretch over to it. And then I'll stretch back down and work across, back across this one. Okay, I've gone ahead and done a few more rows up through here, and my thread's getting kind of short. So I'm going to pull that through the back. And while I could start another row and have all the ones going in that direction and then tie the thread and start a new thread for the other direction, I don't like doing that as much, but it's okay if you want to. But I have all of these completed. So now I'm going to turn it over and take this remaining thread, and just like I did earlier, put it through the stitches. Again, trying to get it just through the floss stitches and not through the 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to snip it. Scissors weren't quite as sharp as I thought. And then there's the back. People often say they like the back of their cross stitch to be almost as pretty as the front. So all those little stitches are even. Obviously it won't look like the same picture, but it will be done. So now I will get another piece of floss, or the other half, whatever. I need 3 strands, and I will start it by running it under this and leave little tails like these 2 tails, and pull it through. Make sure you don't pull it all the way through, and complete the rest of these light green ones. Come up here and do this little light green one. And then I'd probably just go straight up and go in this direction to finish these, come back to the middle, and then go in this direction to finish these, come back to the middle and tie it off there. And then I will be ready to come down here with the rest of the light green, or start the dark green. I might actually start the dark green and finish that light green with another piece of yarn later.